Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hope. My name is Tammy Lynn Connors. This is my YouTube channel and podcast, helping other people evolve. Tonight, I have Kim Joyce with me. How are you, Kim?
I'm excellent.
Good, good. I'm so happy to see you. I love her background. She's got the ocean behind her, and it's like, yes, that's where I want to be right now. So I met Kim. I went to an event. It was called acoustic vibes with Nate Hicks. And Kim was a singer there, and I saw her on the stage, and there was just something that was like she has a powerful voice, but I know she has a powerful story. So I remember, Kim, that night I came up and introduced myself to you, and we've been playing back and forth trying to get this together. And I always say it's in God's timing when we get things right. So I'm real quick, everybody. My mission and vision with Hope is just to help other people. I feel like there's so many people, especially nowadays, they're at home struggling, and they feel like they're all alone in this world, and their struggles are the only struggles out there. And as I know, struggles are hard, and I do know that you can feel that way. But when I have people that unfortunately have been through struggles but are getting to a strength, share their story, I hope that you hear that story, Kim's story today, Davey's story yesterday, my story, and you can get up and walk outside and take a deep breath and be like, yes, I can get through these things. So that is just what my vision and vision is. I always say that God, the universe, whatever you guys believe, I believe God puts people in my life for these stories, because you're my 104th episode. So wow. I'm just moving along. So the other thing I said to Kim at the beginning of this is, I have no idea what her story is at all. I just heard her sing and I loved her voice. And I could just tell from the words in your songs that you definitely have a story of hope. So if you want to just, I guess, share Kim, where Kim was years ago, where you are now, and things that have happened.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, well, I was born in Lansing, Michigan. Both my parents, I'm the baby of the family. So my next sibling is about 7 years older. So it's almost like I was kind of like an only kid, but not really growing up. And I also grew up in the church. My dad was a pastor. My mom, she played the piano and kind of sang. And it was a very, very small church. So like an old Baptist church where I was the youngest by decades, I would say. Everybody had an old soul and one of those voices that were just raspy, just so much soul and so much like feeling, with how they sang. So I feel like that's where I learned how to sing, even if I wasn't trying to sing.
Right.
I remember my first song that I ever learned, my grandma, my mom's side, it was like, really kind of her church, because she was, her sisters, and she'd been in that church for so long. She's taught me how to sing Precious Lord, so it was just one of my first memories of singing. And it was in the church, so and I feel like today you look at how I sing, even though it's, I guess you could say, secular, it still has that vibe of church in a bit, and it still has that conviction as well. But that's where it all starts from. And, even though I was, in the church, I got into basketball as a kid. So I stopped going to church quite a bit because I was playing basketball. I received a scholarship to Ohio State University, in which I played basketball there for 4 years. Great experience. I learned a lot of hard work. I mean, we were one of the top teams in the nation, so it really helped with my work ethic and being in front of a lot of people. I feel like that helped me out a lot there. But even with all that success and just the different walks of life that I had, it wasn't easy, even though it was really exciting, kind of what I was doing. Number one, growing up in a family that, was in the church, but I was like kind of, not out, but, LGBT lifestyle. It was difficult, especially at that time when it really wasn't as accepted. And my family was completely new to it. So it was very difficult for me growing and trying to find my voice. It's been decades of me feeling like I've been just trying to find my voice and being comfortable with who I am and not being quieted or feeling like I had to be ashamed of who I was. So I feel like that was definitely an obstacle to go over. College basketball, even though it was a great stage I played on, I had a lot of difficulty even playing on a great big stage there. Like I just had a lot of issues and feeling lonely and, just still trying to find my voice and myself. And then it's wild because before I finished playing basketball at Ohio State, I started getting into music. Like I wrote my first song when I was in the 12th grade, but I actually joined a band when I was in college, in like alternative hip hop band. And I
Okay.
realized that basketball wasn't going to go the way I wanted to. I wanted to do music. And I knew it was going to be a long shot just because my lifestyle, how I wanted to do things. But I wanted to give it a go. And probably one of the most difficult things was finding my voice in an industry that really wasn't as accepting, especially back then. I think I put my first project out back in 2006. It was like a self-written, self-produced project.
Okay.
But it was still me, wanting to be me, and everybody that I wanted to work with still was like, hey, you need to be more feminine. You need to wear hoop earrings. You need to change the way that you look. And after, again, going through childhood, not being able to feel like I was myself, going through college, being, feeling like I wasn't able to be myself, it was just another kind of slap in the face.
Right.
So I feel like my career, my voice stems from me just having to fight for my voice and me not having to make myself uncomfortable to make other people feel comfortable. And knowing that, like, hey, I want to, if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out swinging. I know it may be a long shot, but, I want to do things my way. I've been I don't want to say disciplined, but I've been very accepting of others and been very respectful how everybody else, has wanted me to be, that, it might probably take me a lot longer. I may not ever make it as big as I want to in music, but I'm like, okay, well, I want to, explore my voice, the way I want to do things. And, I think that's my story, and the audience that I have, I think that they relate to that, and being kind of a weirdo, or outcast, feeling like introverted, still trying to find their voice. And, it's liberating to me. I've been doing this for a while. Like I said, my first project was back in 2006, and I'm still going. No matter how many people are rocking my music, or if I'm playing on the radio stations or not, I feel like I'm very successful because I still wake up every day and I choose to fight. And I still gain a fan every time I perform, every time I put out music, and I still continuously find my voice. So I find myself very successful, and I'm feeling, free as an artist. And I think that's most important. So all in a nutshell, hey, that's my story.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And I can't relate to the exact way that you felt as an outcast, but I also, in school and things like that, my teeth were funny, just all kinds of things, and the bullying that I got through that, and my dad was an alcoholic, and the ambulances were at our house all the time because he was suicidal. So, I had that like label on me. So I can relate when you say that, because honestly, I just now really started finding who I truly am. For years, I took care of so many people. Then after that, I took care of people, and I was never alone to try to find out, oh, who's Tammy Lynn Connors? Well, here I am. I love to dance, and I love listening to, all different kinds of music, and meeting all kinds of cool people, but for a long time, I stayed in my little shell also, because that's where I was comfortable.
Yeah, no, I definitely can relate to that. And sometimes like you feel kind of weird because you feel like, okay, I should be settled into who I am when you're 18 and when you're like 20 or whatever. But it's like, man, it doesn't matter what your age is. Like, I feel like our whole life's purpose is to really, get to know ourselves.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And find our own purpose and find our own voices. And sometimes you just got to go through a lot of things. Sometimes I think you just got to go through enough stuff to say, you know what, I'm fed up.
Right.
Like I'm saying this is how I want it. This is how I'm going to do things from here on out. And it's taken me, all this time, but every step, every year, every downfall was necessary in that process.
Yeah, that's so good that you said that, because so many people fail once and then they just stay down. They're like, I'm done. It didn't work. And I look at different things like Formula 409, the spray stuff.
Yeah.
It's called 409 because they tried it 408 times and finally got it 409th time. Yeah. So
I did not know that.
Yeah, I read it somewhere. I remember where I read it, and I think about Colonel Sanders from Kentucky Fried Chicken. He didn't even start there until he was in his 50s, and how many times did he fail doing things before that? And I think that that's real. What you just said is key, because people need to know that just because you don't do well at one thing, or you continue to do that one thing, like Michael Jordan talks about his basketball shots, how many did he miss? How bad was he in 8th grade when he didn't even make the team or whatever year it was, but he didn't stop. And I think what you just said, you just didn't stop, you kept going. And I think that's what's so important. You didn't let the outside noises stop you.
No, 100%. And you know what I also think, because you're kind of hitting it on the head, like a lot of this is with consistency. I realize, the more that I research people who are successful, and it doesn't matter what area of your life you're in. It doesn't matter if you are doing lifting weights, if you're learning to play the guitar, if you're trying to learn to meditate, it's just the consistency of not giving up. One day I might go really, really hard in the gym. One day, as long as I get up and I stretch and I do something, it's like I'm getting myself in the mindset. I am building the habits and the muscle memory that's necessary to be successful. Like, and I read something, they said, like, I don't know, because you all hear everything, between the 10,000 hours or whatnot, but somebody said something like, if you do something 18 minutes a day, every day, then you end up, after a year, you end up being like really in the top of, that, I don't want to say that class, but damn near expert, in doing that. But it's just the consistency and not giving up, what you're saying.
That's exactly it, those daily habits. And unfortunately, we live in a microwave society, the quick fix, like I want it now. And I mean, I'm sure you have too. I've learned that the hard way. It doesn't work now. Like you say, you got to put in the work to get it, but you can't, give up. And I'm glad you didn't give up, because I love your music.
Thank you.
It's powerful music. It really is. And I can hear that old soul in you, and just how I enjoyed watching you at that Acoustic 5 so much, but I work night shift. So one day I'll get up to Detroit to hear you play in that area.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
so it's awesome. And I know I'm just going to share, Kim keeps looking down a little bit because she's feeding a little one right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, such a little baby. He's a month old, she said. And his name is Zen. I love it. Just perfect. So, well, Kim, I really appreciate you jumping on here with me tonight. Just giving you time. And I know people can find you at kimjoycemusic.com, correct?
Yep, 100%.
And that's easy for everybody to find. I'm going to put that link in the comments, so that way anybody can find you and follow you and listen to your music and enjoy it all. So
no, definitely. And I appreciate you. Like I dig things like this. Like, this is something that I definitely like watch and I get into a lot. I know you said that I think I'm your 104th person that you talked to, and it reminded me back of Napoleon Hill. Like, I think he interviewed like 20, like a ridiculous number of people for the Think and Grow Rich and like all those mindsets. But like, look how beneficial it's been, with shaping his mind and how he's been able to help so many other people. So, I mean, it's really good digging into people's stories and telling about their, their drive, their story. And just, I think that gives hope to a lot of other people, So I appreciate you. And I'm grateful that, you asked me to be on this podcast with you.
Well, thank you so much. And good luck tomorrow night with your performance.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, everybody, thank you so much for getting on Hope. Like I said, I know that we're all out here struggling, but know that your struggles will go. You have to get through them. I understand it's hard, but as Kim said, you just keep going. I tell people, if you can wake up every day and just be thankful for one thing that first day, and then maybe tomorrow you can be thankful for 2 things, and then so on and so forth. And if you don't think you're thankful for anything, take a deep breath. And you took a deep breath, and that should make you be grateful that you're here. So thank you again, Kim. I appreciate it. And you have a great day. Okay.
You as well.
Thank you.